Hello everyone and welcome to my channel SKYROKKETS. My name is Skylar and I'm so happy for you to be here today for my 14th video on my channel. Now today's video will be on Dune Part 1. To start off, when I heard all the hype about this movie, I'm like, okay, I have to watch this. I watched it. I didn't understand the hype of it when I first watched it. I did not understand much of the plot, or the story. I was confused, I guess, and I didn't like it. I'll be honest, I did not like this movie when I first watched it. It was boring. I was like, I really sat through 2 hours of this. Like, this was one of the most boring movies I've ever watched. And then, hear me out, Dune Part 2 was announced. They were coming out with this. Everyone was hyping this up. I'm like, okay, this series is so hyped up. Like, did I miss something? You know, and I'm like, obviously I'm going to go watch Dune Part 2. The trailer made it look more action-packed and better and, like, entertaining. I'm like, okay, I'll go watch it. Now, this was before I started doing all the movie reviews and, like, the critic perspective, audience perspective, like, watching it for entertainment while also criticizing the positive and negatives of it. So, I wasn't as open-minded with movies and, like, super into all sorts of movies. And now I am. So, I decided to watch part 1 again before part 2 comes out, as well as also just give it a second chance. So I watched it, I believe it was last week or this week. It was either last week or this week. But I watched it just recently. And I definitely like it the second time around compared to the first time. Because I understand it now. I actually enjoyed it. And I'll get more into what I enjoyed about it, what I liked about it. But I'll say I still don't understand why it was so hyped up. I mean, the effects were amazing, so I can understand that. But, like, I never understood, still don't understand why it was so hyped up as a movie. I mean, I also understand it was an old movie that they remade, so maybe that's why. Maybe it's, like, older people hyping it up because they watched the older one. I'm not sure. But I never got into the hype. And then the second one, I also never got into the hype, but I definitely liked the second more. So you'll have to watch my video after this because I am coming out with the part 2 review. So be on the lookout for that. It should be out tonight, same time as this one. I will say that the acting was amazing. The cast was amazing. Just the story itself was amazing. The effects were amazing. Like, everything in this movie was amazing. Even the soundtrack and composition music was perfect. Like, it was just a great movie. Like, I don't know. I didn't see any problems with it. I mean, sure, I wasn't super entertained. I don't know. It's not a movie I would say I love, but it's a movie that I definitely enjoyed and I could watch again. You know, like, it was a very interesting movie, and I feel like the more I watch it, the more I would love it. But right now, I just kind of like it. And, yeah. I will say Timothy Chalamet, I'm going to mess up these names when I go over it, but Timothy Chalamet, who played Paul, the main protagonist, I love him because I watched him in Wonka after watching Dune Part 1, and I loved him in Wonka. I'm like, okay, this guy knows how to act. Like, he is amazing. So I have to watch Dune Part 1 again and Dune Part 2. I loved him in both movies. Like, he's just an amazing actor. So, I love that guy. I look forward to whatever other movies he has coming out. Oscar Isaac was good. He played Duke Leto. He was Paul's father in the movie. Rebecca Ferguson, she played Lady Jessica, Paul's mother. She did pretty good. Jason Momoa, we all know Aquaman. I hope if you don't, you gotta watch Aquaman, dude. Jason Momoa, he played Duncan. He was the trainer? I think he was the trainer. David Bautista, he played Glasu Robin. He is the nephew of the Baron, who is basically the main antagonist. Stellan Skarsgård played the Baron. He did a good job, too. Like, they all did. This whole cast is what I'm calling out because they did good. Josh Brolin, he played Gurney. He's the weapons master. He basically trains Paul like how to fight and whatnot. So they all did great. And then there was that one lady in the black outfit. Honestly, I didn't care to remember the characters too much. But this movie was amazing. I definitely wouldn't mind watching it again just to get more into the spirit of it. Like, it's one of those movies where it's like, oh, if I watch it more and more, I'll start to really, really like it. Like Avatar, like, I enjoyed it. I liked it. Watching it a second time, I loved it even more. So it's like one of those things. But yeah, if you haven't seen Dune Part 1, go watch it. Go check it out. It's an amazing movie, especially if you plan on seeing Part 2. Like, you definitely want to watch Part 1. It'll make more sense. And for those of you that don't really want to watch it or want to know the story, I'll quickly summarize. It's basically about the Atreides family. And they start taking over the spice production on this planet called Arrakis, which it produces spice. Spice has to do with space and time, I think. Like, it does something special. I don't know. It's a good resource that people want. So the family basically goes to that planet and replaces the Harkins that were doing the spice production, and they don't like that, so I'm gonna try not to spoil it, but basically the Harkins ambush the family, and some of the family survives, some of them don't, and they start, it leads to like a whole war that is coming, and the Fremen are the people that inhabit that planet. So the Atreides family, the members that are still alive, join forces with the Fremen, and that's just pretty much part 1 right there, is the family going to the planet, getting ambushed, eventually finding the Fremen and joining them. That's pretty much all of part 1. Part 2 continues after that. But if you want to learn more about this, you'll have to watch that video when I come out with it. Anyway, that is my review. I give the movie 8 out of 10 stars because of how amazing it is, but how it lacked most entertainment for me. Like, I just wasn't super entertained with it. But you might be entertained with it. So, go check it out. If you like my content, please like and subscribe to my channel. If you don't like it, again, like and subscribe to my channel. I'll catch you with the next flick.